We would like to thank our sponsors, Getaway Today. Use Getaway Today for all of your vacation planning needs. You'll get exclusive perks, great discounts, and the best customer service. Most importantly, their services are always free and easy, from experienced and passionate agents who love to make your vacation dreams come true. Head on over to getawaytoday.com from the link in our show notes to see their exclusive deals, and you can call 855-GET-AWAY and let them know Walt's Apartment sent you to start planning your next vacation today.
There was an idea. The idea was to bring together a group of remarkable people, see if they could become something more.
I have an army.
We have a Hulk.
This is the Marvel Tribe, brought to you by Walt's Apartment Podcast and the DisInsider.
Avengers!
Assemble.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the Marvel Tribe.
Love it.
We're a group of excited, passionate individuals who have come together to share our love of all things Marvel. We are brought to you by Walt's Apartment Podcast and DisInsider.com. My name is Shawn, and I'm joined by an amazing group of people. Sam, David, Bill, and Chris are all here. Join us for this extra special Easter egg Happy Easter edition of the Marvel Tribe. From the big screen to the small print, feel the pulse in your chest so you know you're alive. One team, one love. It's the Marvel Tribe. It's the Marvel Tribe. Yes, it is. How y'all doing tonight on this Easter night? Talk about Easter eggs and the Falcon or Winter Soldier, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. We have our
Some good ones.
the full team is here. The full tribe is here. Chris, Disney Done Differently. How are you doing, my friend?
Very good. Happy Easter. Thank you. It's going to be a good one. There's a lot of Easter eggs on Easter, so
Yes.
I'm looking forward to this episode.
Absolutely. Mr. Blurred, Hulk, David, how are you, buddy? Happy anniversary to you, my friend.
Thank you. I appreciate it, my friend.
Of course.
I'm doing fantastic. Due to that it's a holiday weekend, I didn't get to kind of watch as many times as I would like to have watched, So I'm at 3 right now.
Okay.
But I'm actually going to, after we finish shooting this, I'm going to go back and watch one more time. So
Okay. And then back down here is also the GOAT himself, Mr. Bill from the Airbnb
The GOAT.
Disney
The GOAT.
podcast. Bill, how are you, my friend?
I am good. Thank you very much. How about yourself?
Not bad. Welcome back. I know you were at Walt Disney World with Chris and Barry. So how was your trip?
It was incredible. We had a lot of fun. We had a lot of laughs. Every night it was funny. We would lay in bed and just laugh our way to sleep. It was
like teenage girls at a slumber party.
That's what I was just going to say. It's like a childhood slumber party.
And you guys got called fat asses a lot, I hear?
All the time. I mean, it was nonstop. It didn't help that Chris wore his booty shorts the whole time. I think that had something to do with it, but I don't know.
now that was just by the hotel staff. I mean, man, when you got to the park, it was really brutal.
The sunburn hurts.
We're also joined by...
Did you use Body Glide between your thighs?
Oh, come on.
All the time. No chafing.
He's very glad.
Hey,
Don't ask what that is. Don't ask what that is. I'm sorry, you're gonna have to edit that out, aren't you?
No, it's okay.
I don't give a damn.
we're fine.
We are
We're
also
fine.
joined by the podcast princess herself, Miss Sam, from Disology Podcast, Walt's Apartment Podcast, the Marvel Tribe, Extra Magic Hour. Is there any show you don't do?
Yeah, a couple, but that's okay. Eventually, I'll take them all over.
She is our Scarlet. She's our Scarlet
I'm just
Wikipedia.
kidding. I don't want to take anything over. I just want everybody to adore me. I'm still not calling Bill the GOAT, though.
See, you guys missed my new nickname. I was calling Sam the Scarlet Wikipedia.
Haley had a good Easter?
Yeah, she did. It was pretty low key, so just hung out at home.
That's the next show, Sam.
Loki.
Oh,
Low-key.
Chris.
Hey-o.
With the dad joke coming in hot. Okay, so
All right.
we had a great week. Another really great episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier, obviously. So I want to talk about something before we get into the rundown real quick. We put on our Facebook group this last week that unfortunately Mr. Wyatt Russell, he's named after Wyatt Earp, by the way, has been getting death threats and getting treated very poorly on social media, to the point to where he actually hopped off all of his social media, which I think is utterly ridiculous and disgusting. And I just want to say that from us, even though we say we like to punch the character in the face, we do not want to punch the actor in the face, because I think he's doing a great job with the character. I think it takes a little bit more to portray someone that everyone hates. And I think the same thing kind of with Thanos. So real quick, before we get into it, what do you guys think about that? I'm going to say it, that bullshit that shouldn't be out there for an actor, Also, when Chadwick Boseman passed away, I said this in our group chat, Elizabeth Olsen, who I adore, got a bunch of crap because she didn't reach out quick enough and throw something on social media. People grieve in all different kinds of ways. So I think actors are treated very poorly and I don't know. I'm jumping off the soapbox. Someone else take over.
It's actually a theme that ties into this episode, something that we learned from this episode. So Zemo says that when an Avenger is put into their position, people forget they have flaws. And it's like we forget that these are human characters. That these are humans. They're not right. Who their characters are. These characters are written for them. Yeah. By show writers and producers, and this isn't who they are when they go home to their families. They're not choosing to be this person in real life. This is what their job is. So it's just a shame that we have to kind of make this statement that we don't do this.
Well, I'm gonna say this for all of those of you guys who are out there who are actually giving the actual actor, death threats and everything else. First of all, this whole thing's make. There is no Incredible Hulk. If it was true, I would be him. You guys.
Wait, you're not?
No, I'm not. So, but to be real, I don't. This is very serious. People are real people and stuff, and when you're getting death threats and you have a family and everything else, that's serious. That's beyond the pale. That's beyond super fandom. That's beyond the scope of just reality. These people are nuts and stuff. And the thing is, they make the whole fandom look bad when they do this. I don't care who you are. We're all Disney family. Marvel is a part of that family. The Star Wars people are part of that family, and we all have people who just take things to the extreme, and it's ridiculous because we get to spend some time of our show not talking about the fun and the cool stuff, and we have to actually address this. So I'm gonna say this right now: if you guys are a fan of the Marvel Tribe and you guys are participating in this weird psycho hate on real actors and real people and stuff out there, don't watch our show anymore. And not that that's a big deal, but I don't want you as part of our tribe or part of this fandom. Go someplace else, because that's not accepted on any terms and stuff whatsoever.
Yeah.
Well said, David.
Bill, anything you want to add?
The only thing I'd like to add is I give kudos to Wyatt Russell. That means he's doing his job as an actor.
Absolutely.
To portray the hatred or the to bring that character to life, to make you have a feeling about that character.
We're not supposed to like him.
Right.
And I think that's what people are losing in the scope of everything, is we're not supposed to like him. We're not supposed to want to see him with the mantle.
Yeah. Bill, any thoughts?
He does have a punchable face, though. I'm kidding. No, I can't say anything that you guys didn't already say. It's ridiculous, but he's killing it. He makes you want to hate him. Mm-hmm. And that is his job, and bravo to him for doing it.
Absolutely.
And doing it well.
And as far as his punchable face, Dave had already explained in the first episode, it's because they just gave him an awful costume. Because, again, we're not supposed to like him.
It was done on purpose. Everything.
Yep.
I mean, if he looked like a snack in that costume, you wouldn't have the women in America complaining about Captain America.
Right. Okay.
I mean, let's be real. Like if they put Thanos in a frumpy-ish kind of outfit, and they did. I think Josh Brolin, for some reason the lunatics will come after him, or even Michael Jordan, Michael B. Jordan and stuff for Killmonger and stuff. This was done on purpose. They're telling a story, and these are masters and storytellers and stuff. They've been doing this since the comic book era. So this is the story. And part of me wants to believe that this is just all trolls who are really kind of just kind of getting in there. They're not really Marvel fans. They could care less about the grenade that they just threw and stuff, and running they take pride in victory and running real life people off of social media and stuff. And I want to believe that that's the case, and I hope they're just trolls. And we as Marvel fandoms, we are just people who love good storytelling. We have to push back. So I don't mind us having to push back when something comes out, because it shows that yes, we are on the right side of the way things are supposed to be, not on the side of the trolls, not ignoring it. We're just we're addressing it. So
yep, for sure.
Speaking
of Michael B. Jordan.
Oh, sorry.
No, Michael B. Jordan absolutely crushed it, dude. Michael B. Jordan absolutely made you hate him. So I thought, but great actor. So I just have to throw it. Sam, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I was going to say, we have to remember that Marvel is trying to evoke emotion from us. That is their job as storytellers, and that emotion should stay in the storyline. It shouldn't we shouldn't be carrying that around with us in everyday life. If you're so invested that you're angry about the show when you're not watching the show, you probably should take a break from watching the show.
Fair enough. Good point. All right. That being said, let's get on with the show. Chris, what do you think of this week's episode?
I love this episode. As the show is going on, I'm actually going to go on record. I'm starting to like this more than WandaVision. It's not about the eye candy for me. It's the storyline. It's the actual you want to talk about Easter eggs. I mean, I put in our chat, I want to spend one night in Manipur. I want to be in there and see those people, and we'll get into that later. But very well done, and I have a lot of questions on Sharon Carter that I'll bring up later.
Oh, I had some questions about Sharon Carter this week too, but we'll leave those off of here, so that's fine. But anyway, Bill, what did you think of the episode?
I liked it a lot. I had a small issue, and I don't know if anyone else here had the same issue. But Zemo and his escape from prison. Mm-hmm. Fake.
Yep.
I mean,
yep.
I had a huge issue with it because they made it all so simple.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the guy is a genius. Why would he have not done that a long time ago if it were that simple? I don't know. I mean, I love the show, and as a whole, I think it's great. But that moment kind of took me out of it for a minute. I was like, oh, come on. Did we just turn into Ocean's 11? And
he needed the help, though. He needed the assist from Bucky. He needed, the key card swiped to him. He needed that little note tossed because he's locked down. Basically, they don't let anybody in his cell. He doesn't get to come out for rec time like everyone else.
And Bucky going in made that note passing happen immediately upon his entry. It wasn't realistic. It just wasn't realistic. I love the show. I don't mean to put it all down because I think as a whole, I really, really, really enjoyed it. But that moment just stuck out to me as not realistic, and it kind of pulled me out for a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
It happened so fast.
Exactly.
It did. I think that's why they did that, honestly, for one reason. It just boom, boom, boom. Here's a quick idea. It looks like we had some kind of plan. So yeah, I thought that's never going to happen in a real prison. I'm watching Sons of Anarchy right now, and you can't even break out of that jail. So, I mean, come on, so.
You should be surprised. There's a prison not far from here in the middle of a
that's true.
cornfield, and they get people out pretty often.
Well,
so I'm not going to lie.
I guess you would know about that.
I agree with Bill 100%. In fact, I'll take it even further. I was expecting at the end of that montage to see Deadpool come out and say some snarky ass something snarky to the public, because it was really that type of scene. It really was that. I'm like, come on, really? Like, so here I mean, the motivation, Mr. Baron Zemo, Helmut Zemo, he is wealthy. He could bribe. I don't care. No one is above bribery and stuff. And he has the money to do it. He has the resources to do it and stuff. The fact that Bucky just walks in and tell him, like, hey, there's super soldiers out there, to get, like, as if that was the ultimate motivation to get him out. Granted, for someone who is like Baron, who runs with, all these villains, and who is Mr. I'm playing chess while you're playing checkers, it kind of, for me, just as a fan, it slaps in the face of when they caught him. And you remember the part when, I can't remember, Agents Ross was talking about, if you flinch, we're on you. You cannot move or scratch or do anything without us, being on you. You're surveilled 24 hours a day. There's nothing we can do. We have you locked up in a high. I mean, what was conveyed was he's in a maximum high security prison, kind of like for supervillains. And the fact that he was able to escape like that during a track of it just slaps of, for me, low effort, as Deadpool would say.
But that wasn't the point of the story. So
no, it wasn't. It wasn't.
They're going to cut corners.
Correct.
Yeah.
I'd rather them focus on the bigger plot lines, which they did, and I'd rather have more. If I had to sacrifice in Labyrinth, they could have made a whole episode about him escaping prison, or they could have did what they did and then they focused on the other stuff. I'm okay with that, but it did take me out. Like Bill said, it did take me out. I loved it. Okay. For me, I told you guys episode 2. I'm liking this series more than WandaVision. So.
Okay. How about you, Sam? What'd you think? Oh, sorry.
No, I was just going to say that it was imperative to move the plot along, right? A lot happened. And what I love about it is you've got basically, a 5 or 6 hour movie that we're going to end up getting by the end of this. Yeah. And they're treating it like a movie, not a TV show. They've slowed things down along the way, so you get like a insight into Sam's life and into Bucky's life and different things like that. But there's things that they have to do to kind of get past. And I understand why they did it, just as David's saying. I understand why they did it, but it still took me out. Yep. It still made me, instead of just enjoying it, I kind of went, oh, come on.
And he's reading Machiavelli.
They would never allow that. Considering everything that he did back in The Winter Soldier alone, they wouldn't allow him to be reading that in the prison. So that was another thing that I would, but yeah, sorry.
So if you actually freeze frame that, it was actually Machiavelli and Da Vinci. It was actually a book about their relationship and stuff. So you have two people who are, the ends justify the means, and one is a superior inventor. Why would you ever put that in a prisoner's cell and stuff? So, yeah, it was curious. I think there's some more to that story, because Mr. Machiavelli, his whole arc is the ends justify the means, as Zemo so brilliantly explained, to the Winter Soldier. No offense to you, it wasn't personal. It was just I needed to get something done. So.
Sam, what'd you think?
I also really enjoyed it. I can't really add more than anything else anybody else has said. I agree. It is starting to surpass WandaVision a little bit in the storytelling. It is giving us a lot of Easter eggs that I am very excited about, because it's leading us in the direction that I really want to see Marvel go.
Yep.
Cough, cough. X-Men. So, I'm excited. What about you, Shawn?
Well, I don't know a lot about these characters. Like I've said in the past, storytelling, I think it is a great story. Probably a better story than WandaVision, but visually not better than WandaVision from a personal aspect there. But we'll why. But we'll get on to that. So, Sam, we'll have you do your rundown of what happened in the episode. But before we do that, we're recording this on April 4th. 2021, which is Mr. Robert Downey Jr.'s birthday. So if you're listening, which that'd be amazing if you were, happy 56th birthday, and hope you had a great day. So go ahead, Sam.
Also, if you're listening, find me on social media and let's be friends, because they can call Bill the goat all they want, but you're the goat. Sorry, Bill. You're just not Robert Downey Jr.
There's no arguments there. It's Robert
Downey Jr. is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a close second. I'll give him. I'll give him.
I'll send you my list later, and I'll let you know where you rank.
Hey, Silver's good, Bill. Silver's good.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe like participation trophy.
I'm just gonna go cheesy.
That's not even part of the precious. That's not part of the precious. What's that? Plastic? That's plastic.
Hey, I appreciate a participation trophy because I wouldn't give one to Sam.
I'm just gonna say happy birthday, Robert, and
happy birthday, Iron Man. Absolutely.
Okay, so starting with our rundown, the first thing we get to see is a Global Repatriation Council commercial, which was very Hunger Games-ish to me.
Yes, it was.
Not a fan. Then we get to see John Walker, Captain America, busting into the Munich location that the Flag Smashers had just left a day or so prior. The guy doesn't speak German, and I was like, John Walker doesn't speak German, so he has to call Battlestar over to speak German. I'm like, really?
Battlestar.
Really?
Battlestar.
So
I like Battlestar.
Do you really?
I do.
Battlestar, he got some brownie points for me. No, John Walker.
Isn't Battlestar that guy? I mean, yes, he's a real character in the comic books, but on the show, he is equivalent to what's the blue shirts on Star Trek that they take on the expedition and never make it back. I mean, I'm sorry.
But you know what? He's being the voice. He's the only voice of reason in John Walker's ear right now.
Right. Yep, and that's why I liked him. I liked the way he questioned what he did there. And I don't think John Walker is long for this world, but we'll get to that later.
No, John Walker is going to be like, we're starting to see the ugly. He does not have a moral compass.
Right. I didn't see it last week, but Battlestar actually has the star now on his chest.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
So they're at that Munich location that had been harboring the Flag Smashers, and the guy's pretending he doesn't speak English, and Captain America is like getting in his face, and he spits in Captain America's face, and he slams him against the wall. He's, do you know who I am? And the guy's like, yeah, I do, and I don't care. And I was like, oh, okay. So after that, we get to see that conversation between Battlestar and John Walker, where Battlestar is basically like, listen, we're exhausting our options. Like, we're at a dead end. And that is when we see John Walker say, well, there's something else we can do. And we know that later he's going to go try and find Zemo in prison, and he's not going to find him there because Sam and Bucky are already on their way there to see Zemo in prison in Berlin.
Because of the epic plan to get him out of jail, right, Bill?
Well, no, that was never part of the plan.
No, yeah, that was on the fly.
That was without Sam's inclusion. Zemo says he knows where to begin, but Bucky has to get him out of there. And then we're in this garage, and Bucky's telling Sam, what if we hypothetically...
Right. I have a question about the Zemo talking to Bucky when he first got there. He was trying to mind control him, correct? That's what he did. That's how he used to control him, correct?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, fair enough. Continue.
He's trying to activate the Winter Soldier.
I'll ask questions later. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. Stop us whenever.
I'm a bad listener.
So he's like, what if hypothetically he had a key inside of this Machiavelli book, and then there's this prison fight, and then the fire alarms go off, and then the next thing you know, Zemo walks in, and he's like, what did you do? And obviously they're going to work with Zemo. And I want to know what Zemo took wrapped out of that car and put in his bag.
Wasn't his mask?
Yeah, it was his mask.
Oh, it was his mask? I didn't see it. I thought it was something else wrapped up. Okay.
It was
like the mask that he wore later on in the...
Yeah, I remember him putting his mask on, but I didn't remember him taking that. Okay. He says they have to scale the ladder of lowlifes, and they are going to go to Madripoor to see Selby. We get the scene on the plane where earlier, like I said, he's talking about why he doesn't like super soldiers or the Avengers and how these people become idealized and people forget that they have flaws and then they take over and they become evil and yada yada. And like, you're Baron Zemo, like, what are you talking about? But he makes a pretty good argument why people shouldn't have power. So they're in Madripoor. He says they could either go to high or low, but they don't have friends in high. They go to low. We get a kind of a clip at Carly at a GRC resettlement camp, and she is saying goodbye to someone that is dying. We later find out that that is Danya Madani, who is dying from tuberculosis, and, you know, she dies, saying goodbye to her. We see a sign that Power Broker is watching Lowtown. They're in the bar. Zemo's explaining that Power Broker is the judge, the jury, and the executioner in Madripoor. Sam has to take a shot to prove that he's the smiling tiger. That's what it is, right?
They gotta be bad. Yeah, they have to be bad guys to hang out to survive in Madripoor.
Yeah, so they're waiting for Selby to consult with them, and Winter Soldier ends up getting into a fight. They're able to stay in character. That fight was amazing. And now Selby's going to see them. Zemo uses the Winter Soldier and his codes as a bartering tool for Selby to get information on the Super Soldier Serum. She tells him about Dr. Wilfred Nagel. Then Sarah calls Sam to argue about the boat. Selby orders that they're killed, but then she gets killed, and there's a bounty on them, and now they're getting help from Sharon Carter. She's also blaming them for her having to be off the grid. Sam says if she helps, that they will clear her name and get her a pardon. Remember, she's kind of in trouble for the things that she did to help them. So she's completely off the grid.
I don't
go ahead.
No, I think we're going to the same place. You go ahead first.
I was just saying, she was actually highlighting the fact that the government has no use for her. So, like, the reason why Winter Soldier is, cleared, so is Falcon and stuff, because they're still they're still useful. For, but she has no bargain. She had no bargaining chip, even though she did the least amount. I mean, Winter Soldier murdered like high officials in the U.S. government and still got a pardon. So she made it clear to highlight that without saying it.
Yeah,
I'm not useful to them. So,
which again, another injustice that's being highlighted.
Mm-hmm.
She has a party. She takes them to. She gets information. Takes them to this container. They find a lab in there. Bunch of bounty hunters are coming to get them while they're in this lab talking to the doctor, and she's just busting them out like nothing.
No, she beat all their asses. I mean, she made them look. Yeah, they made them all look really dumb. But I mean,
she did.
Seemed pretty strong.
She did. She looked pretty strong. And then we find out that Nagel was using an American super soldier's blood to isolate the compounds of the serum in his blood, and then he turned to dust and he couldn't finish. I wonder who that American was.
Yep. Well,
I think we know.
Who do you think it is, Shawn?
Isaiah.
Yes.
Yeah, they were testing on him.
Yeah, I'm part of the Marvel tribe now. Here we go. Let's go.
Yes. I'm going to keep throwing you questions like that.
High five.
I got them all.
Go ahead, Bill.
High five.
High five. So then he goes bye-bye with, the snap and couldn't finish. He comes back. He creates the 20 vials in his lab. Carly steals them all. He had been creating them for the Power Broker. This is what the Power Broker says you stole from me, from Carly. And then Zemo kills him. And an RPG gets shot into the container and it all explodes. The lab is gone. Zemo's helping them. And my favorite part, of course, when they get in Zemo's getaway car and Sam's like, "You're not going to put your seat up, are you?" Nope. And then Sharon kind of goes her own way and gets into her own little car and says, "We've got a couple of problems." Talking about Falcon and the Winter Soldier there.
We have a big problem. She said, we have a big problem.
A couple of
them.
Yes. And then we see Carly blow up a GRC warehouse. She had been kind of peaceful before that. You know, her people aren't expecting her to kill people, and now she is. And I think she's got this hate and vengeance inside of her because she's grieving now. And then John Walker realizes they broke Zemo out. At the end, we get to see Bucky walking down an alleyway, and who does he run into?
Well, first he finds those Moya beads that are planted and stuff. He's from Wakanda. He's honorary Wakandan. He can recognize the beads and stuff. So he followed it, and
he's like, he dropped something.
Yep.
And there's Ao.
Oh, I gotta say, I myself, during Civil War, when we first got introduced to Ao, when she had the confrontation with Black Widow, I wanted that fight to happen because it would have done two things. One, show how badass the Dora Milaje are. Now, don't get me wrong, I would absolutely edge the fight to Black Widow. She's just the way she's trained. But the Dora Milaje is nobody to play with. And that would have been our first introduction to the people of Wakanda and stuff, would have been that fight scene. But they didn't do it. They didn't do the fight scene. They just did the whole little interaction, move, or I'll move you and stuff. And then, T'Challa, in his all gracefulness, told her to back down and stuff. After he smirked. I think he wanted to see the fight too, but it didn't happen.
I'll say this, that at the end of that, when I was watching it Friday night, and Chris and David were talking, and David says, "Enjoy the episode," and throws up an emoji of someone doing the Wakanda salute. And then Chris says, "I see what you did there." I'm like, "You bastard. I saw what you did too. What the hell does that mean? I have a half hour still to watch." So I'm thinking Black Panther's going to show up by the end of the show, because that's all that was in my head, that Black Panther's going to show up by the end of this episode saying, "Where's Zemo?" Because I know that if the past was Zemo. So, but hey, it's still very cool.
And spoil it.
Sorry. Yeah. You didn't. You just made me think and call you a name, but it's okay.
So
thank you, Sam, for that. That's awesome. Thank you, Sam, for the rundown.
Absolutely. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
I mean, Dora Milaje just tells me that, my hope of getting the Submariner in Wakanda is going to happen. Just kidding. But still.
Who knows, though, actually?
A very small part that when they're walking so they bust him out of the prison. We've discussed the whole prison breakout, right? And he's walking to the plane, his private jet. It's the first time he says, I think they might have said, like, "You have money," or "You're rich," and he says, "I'm a Baron."
Yep.
And now we finally have Baron Zemo, which is the exact name from
the comics.
Yeah.
I love how the economy plays, where you have this villain who's been in prison, who comes out of prison, who is still rich and has cars and jets, where you have a hero like Falcon who can't even get approved for a bank loan and stuff. Yeah. And he saved the planet, not just the neighborhood or the entire planet. So that dueling of worlds and stuff about, and we see a lot of that. We see a lot, like with the global initiative. What's the
Global Repatriation Council.
GRC.
Yeah, correct. So we see, they're supposed to be the good guys. They have all the resources, but yet we see, they're kind of painting these narratives and stuff like, the Flash Masters, they're taking vaccines because people like, the lady who's laid up in the hospital from tuberculosis isn't getting the vaccines and stuff. So they have to act. So it's like, it's playing the world of what is happening in reality. Like, if we really look at outside our window on what's going on, we see some semblance to, like, bad guys do seem to make a lot of money, and they do make it, while the good guys constantly get kind of crapped on a little bit. So
I mean, think about when a rich man goes to prison. I can think of a few governors who have gone to prison and they don't end up in General Pop. You know, they're sitting in their little guardhouse, whatever, their warden's house, reading Machiavelli.
Like, I can tell you this now, like 100%, I'm willing to bet my entire salary for the year. A person like Jeff Bezos, who's the richest man on the planet, will never go to prison. And even if he does, it won't, like Sam said, it would be probably a very mediocre country club, and he'll still have all of his money.
And he'll have access to whatever he wants.
Zemo's got his butler waiting for him.
I know. But his fridge isn't working, so obviously they need to work on that. He's not that rich that he gets a working fridge. Just kidding.
I didn't go back, but that scene inside the jet, Bucky with Steve's book, right, with the mention of Trouble Man. I'm trying to remember, was it Civil War where Tony Stark is on the jet having that similar conversation with Don Cheadle's character,
War Machine. Yeah,
War Machine. It reminded me of it, but I just couldn't remember which movie that was from. But it was very similar to that type of setting.
Yeah.
What the hell do I know?
Him and Rhodey, Iron Man and Rhodey. I'm trying to think. I don't remember. Me, the only reference was when Sam and Steve were having their interaction, and he saw that book, and it was the book of things that Steve needs to kind of. He was trying to culture himself into the world of today's world, so he was writing down all these things that he needs to experience and check out, and Trouble Man was put into that and stuff. That's
on your left.
Oh, your left. And so that's where that was. And then for for Bucky, that book obviously is a book of redemption. Things he needs to do so he could culturalize into the world. So they both have the same kind of thing, just different things he had to learn and things he had to atone for.
But do you think that Bucky is starting a backward slope?
Yeah.
I feel like he's enjoying it. He's enjoying being destructive.
Not after through this episode, yes, but not after somebody shows up. You got to remember, AO's pissed that Zemo's free, right? That word got out real fast.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Bucky owes his life to Wakanda.
Mm-hmm.
So, the whole Hydra thing, everything, he owes them. So he can't spiral downward, I feel, because she showed up.
I feel like he's not going to be able.
Sorry?
Correct. Shuri wiped his memory, correct?
No, she deprogrammed. Deprogrammed.
Okay.
Yeah, deprogrammed.
Gotcha.
But there might be something left.
Well, there'll always be something left, I have to imagine. But I'm with you, Chris. I don't think that he's going to go too far down that road.
I feel like he can't he's going to keep going backwards until he makes that last check off his list. Like, he's going to have to do that at some point.
Right.
And I don't think they're going to be whole until then.
Yeah, I don't think they bring it up in episode 1 if they're not going to go back to it at some point.
Yeah.
I feel like that's something that's definitely limiting his coming out of his shadow.
Mm-hmm.
I have to say, go ahead, ask a question. I was going to say, I feel bad for Bucky. I mean, the White Wolf. I mean, he found peace in Wakanda. That was the only place on Earth he found peace. He was in his little cabana, and and he would just kind of he adopted the clothing. He was just he didn't even need the army anymore. He was just at peace, and then he got dragged back into a war and stuff. And it's kind of the same thing happening all over again and stuff. So I feel bad. I feel bad for him. I just kind of hopefully my hope is that he ends up getting back to Wakanda and stuff. So maybe not as the White Panther, because I'm not ready for that kind of twist of a storyline yet. But it would be kind of cool to see a White Panther.
Yeah.
I mean, you got a White Vision.
That's right. I have a quick question about Rhodey, and maybe this is just me overthinking stuff, but in Endgame, couldn't he not walk? He had, but in the beginning, in the first episode of this, he was walking normal. Did something happen in a matter of a couple months that he's okay now? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I don't know if I just know something. I thought that guy couldn't walk, and he was like walking normal, like there's nothing wrong. So
they talked about it a little bit and stuff. So after the accident that happened in Civil War and stuff, Stark technology was so advanced where they built those braces and stuff. Right. When Endgame and Infinity War came, his technology was even more advanced, whereas nanotechnology was helping him repair and walk and stuff. And so they don't really get into that, but we may see like more confirmation on that. But I'm believing that is the nanotechnology that absolutely is helping him walk again and stuff.
It's almost like technology stem cells.
Yep.
Okay, that totally makes sense. Actually, I could see that. Go ahead, Chris. Sorry.
Just the part when Sam's on the jet, and I found it funny that he mentions he compares Madripoor to Skull Island, and I'm like, how the hell does Marvel know that King Kong and versus Godzilla was coming out the same week?
So, that was good timing. Absolutely, it was. Yeah. I was waiting for a new commercial, a new trailer for Lord of the Rings or something and stuff. After that, the Hobbit conversation.
So, do we want to dive into this? Do we want to dive into this scene by scene, or do we want to just kind of talk about?
Yeah, we're jumping all over the place. So.
We pretty much talked about everything that I mentioned up until let's really get into Madripoor. Let's
we didn't talk about the dancing though. The dancing. Come on.
Oh yeah, Baron Zemo's got some moves.
He got that move, dude. The move all over the internet right now.
So Bill, this is why they cut the prison escape scene short, just to give us the nightclub scene.
To get that. Yes. Get that.
Yeah. Just to get that Zemo kind of oh man, that's that. If cringe was a real person,
that dude looked so out of place. It was great.
I thought he had some sick dance moves.
You didn't draw images of what was it? The Night at the Roxbury's.
Night at the Roxbury, absolutely.
That's exactly what I thought.
Same exact thing. That's what I was thinking too. I'm like, this is great.
That is exactly what German men. No, that is exactly what German men dance like in German dance clubs.
Oh man.
Oh.
I mean, I've only been to one German dance club, but that's what they were dancing like. There were also no women there, so there's that, except for the few of us that were in my group.
Yeah, so I would be like Usher in Germany, basically.
All right. So, they're on that bridge walking. And this is one of my favorite parts, believe it or not, of this whole episode. And a lot of people, I don't think, catch it. Sam is dressed like the smiling tiger.
Smiling tiger.
I keep wanting to say the crouching tiger.
So there's two things there, right? So his words are, "I'm dressed like a pimp," right? Yep. David, I know you'll get this. Now, in the comic books, before he was before the Falcon, his name was Snap Wilson, and he was a street hustler.
Really?
Yes.
He was a Mac Daddy street hustler.
And I sat there and I was like, they went that way with it. And then when they mentioned Smiling Tiger, that ties into Thunderbolts and all of that part. So I'm done with that. That was my little fanboy moment that I've been waiting until we get to Sharon Carter.
Yeah. I've got. Can we just go to Sharon Carter because we both got stuff?
Please.
Yes. Let's cross Sharon.
Who wouldn't want to go there?
Yeah. So I, initially I thought, she's on. I don't think she's necessarily good, but I don't think it's as simple as actually we've got two, and it's Sam and Bucky. I don't think that's it. Because otherwise she wouldn't have fought as hard as she did and gotten into the battle. I think it's more along the lines of, number one, Nagel is dead. That is definitely one of the problems. What are you doing, John?
Sean's taking pictures of a computer.
Yeah.
Taking pictures.
Okay. I wasn't my good side. That's what I'm worried about.
It's all good.
But so one is definitely that Nagel is dead. And it's probably more along the lines of the other one is now they know how involved it is. I don't know. I don't know what the second thing is. But I don't think it's necessarily as easy as just Sam and Bucky are the problems.
The two big
My
problems.
thought was she's no longer one of the only people looking for Carly Morgenthau.
That could very well be.
Because if the power broker is looking for Carly, I'm thinking she's connected to the power broker. I'm thinking maybe that's how she's got that exquisite lifestyle she's got going on there. What do you think, Chris?
So I think, one, I don't know. I wish I could get a driver to show up and wait for me. Between her driver and Zemo's butler, those guys were just waiting for him. So,
do you want me to do that for you?
Yeah, that would be great.
Okay.
But I feel the Sharon Carter fight scene, she was a lot stronger than normal from what we've seen before. Is she taking the serum? Okay, so that's one theory in the back of my head. Or is she working with Fury? Right, so she still has the connection to him. Or is she a Skrull?
That's what you said in our group chat, that she was a Skrull.
Yes. Could she be a Skrull?
I guess.
She could be.
She could be Mephisto. I mean, who knows?
But you know what? That working for Fury, I mean, Fury trusts no one right now. Except for Photon now.
Right.
And the Skrulls that he's working with. So, very likely
David.
Could be a Fury connection. Like,
So I think we're missing the key element on purpose. Obviously, you know, I mean, we're only 3 episodes in, but I don't think she's all the way good. I absolutely don't think. And I get it. She kind of painted the defense story as to why she shouldn't be all the way good. I mean, America, you know, tried her for treason, and they still will throw her in a cell if she was to return, despite how the end results of the Civil War, Infinity War, Endgames, all that happened and stuff, and all these people getting pardons. But me, you know, that leaves a person feeling kind of a certain type of way. So I think she, you know, there's more to that, that kind of. I mean, this is your country. You know, you're Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. You worked with, obviously she worked with Fury. She worked with the Avengers. She put her neck on the line, and this is how she's getting paid back. So it would make sense that she has a bigger gripe with the government than that's being led on and stuff. And so she could be working with the power broker. And I'll be honest, she could be working with Fury. She could be working with Thunderbolt Ross. I mean, I think that's going to be a huge story arc. What she just said about we have a couple of big problems and stuff.
Yeah.
I think it was a good misdirect about, it's like, well, who's the couple? Sam and the Winter Soldier. That, for me, that's too easy. It's just kind of, she put it out there and stuff. But I think it's a little bit more involved, and my speculation is like, she's going to be the key to how Thunderbolt gets introduced into the storyline, and also there could be here's a trifecta: her and something to do with Thunderbolt Ross, and well as the power broker. Mm-hmm. That's all I can speculate at this point. I don't know.
That's what my speculation is. Yeah,
could be a Skrull too, but I want more. I just.
Well, at least these are longer episodes than WandaVision, so we're getting more in each episode than we're getting just like 25 minutes, where we're getting longer episodes. I have a quick question. When the RPG blew up the lab, they kept showing, obviously, some vials there. Was that super serum? I guess we can all assume that. Where'd they go? Because who has them? Who has them now? Because they wouldn't just show that for some reason. So I feel like that's something, someone might have it.
I'll say this: if that was super serum that they showed, they kept hinting something with his lab. It could be just the fact that he's a lab work, and they have to, just like within any movies, you have to show their equipment. But it could be the case, and so if that is the case, I think Zemo has them.
Yeah, I think Zemo too, because he was pushing. He was pushing beforehand. Yep. He's like, "Is there any more serum in this lab? Is there any more serum in this lab?" So if Zemo does have it, does Zemo destroy it?
Yeah.
Because we would like to think that's what he would do, because, that's his mission. But with great power comes great responsibility.
Ooh, Spider-Man.
Wow, look at this quoting Spider-Man.
Wow, big Spider-Man gal here. Awesome. All right.
Can I throw a huge speculation out there for you guys and stuff? Just something to think about. And I've been thinking about this since the introduction of Black Panther and stuff, about the secret weapon programs and the secret serum and stuff. And maybe you guys know where I'm going with this and stuff, but we do know, Cap Shield was kind of our first introduction in the Marvel Universe to vibranium. And I have to believe that's not the only thing they swipe from Wakanda. That heart-shaped herb itself is the most natural thing that gives people super strength and superpower. So if they were to get that and are been using that and develop it over, the different variations from Weapon X, Weapon 1, to, Steve Rogers, Isaiah, all these different, which we're going to see now, because we all know Wolverine was given the super serum. He's Weapon X. I don't think I'm spoiling anything, but that serum didn't come from thin air. So I'm thinking they synthesized the heart-shaped herb, and this is just my speculation. They're going to introduce or show that backstory. They're talking about that serum. They have to talk about the origins of where that came from. And they started right around the time they've been synthesizing it, when they're trying to develop that super soldier and stuff and trying to figure things out. And it makes sense that they got their hands on vibranium. They may have gotten their hands on that herb, and that's where the origins of the super serum is. Speculation.
Wow.
I like it. That's some good
since
speculation.
You mentioned Weapon X, and that was a big spoiler. You mentioned earlier about the bar that was shown
in Madripoor. Yep.
Yeah. Yes, Wolverine's favorite bar, Logan's favorite bar to go when he goes to Madripoor. For those who don't know, he did frequently go to Madripoor, and I was having the hardest time remembering the name. But Chris and Bill, they reminded me and stuff. And you want to remind the audience the name of that bar that's in Madripoor?
It's the Princess Bar, where Wolverine or Patch at the time.
Patch, yes.
would frequent. And the club that they were in, that the amazing dance moves were performed in, is the Brass Monkey. That's throughout.
Brass Monkey.
Yeah.
That's throughout Captain America comic books many times.
Yes.
So it was cool.
I love how this universe is kind of just ties itself in with the comic world and everything. I mean, it shouldn't, but I love
effortlessly.
How they do it. Yeah, it's like this is the world we're in. This is Earth 616, so this is how things are supposed to. This is the universe we're in. So.
What do you think the part that Nagel, like the Nagel scene before he's taken out, right? Now, Nagel I've only read about him in the Red, White, and Black, right? He created Isaiah and that whole thing. But he says mine was going to be different, meaning his serum
version
or his,
yes,
right?
Right. So
I didn't know what that meant.
So there's been a bunch of failed experiments and stuff so when we got Hulk, we fast tracked. I can't remember the year and the timeline and stuff. One of the super serums and stuff that was injected by I can't remember Roth's character and stuff, but he turned into the Abomination and stuff. they had to reinvent the serum and stuff and try to make it more stable so they can create super soldiers, but they couldn't do it. The last iteration, I believe, of super serum that was given to the soldier that turned into the Abomination. This is in the Incredible Hulk, which is a part of the MCU timeline and stuff. And so this has to be the part where we got that piece of the serum and we're trying to make it so it's stable. It's different, it's different. But that's what I took from that. So.
And for any friends or any fans, I keep saying friends because I'm a kindergarten teacher.
They're friends.
But
they're friends.
Yes, you are. You are friends. You're family. You're our Marvel tribe. For anybody listening who doesn't know who the Abomination is, like David said, Incredible Hulk, Abomination was actually like one of his main enemies. So, but yep, same serum, same type of thing.
Yep. And so when they injected him with that, he turned into the abomination of the weapon program. And so I'm assuming he got his hands on that, and that's what he worked on, that he perfected. That's how we got super soldiers that are not freaks of nature, so to speak, and stuff. So
we've learned this week that Zemo can dance, has the best moves. Sharon Carter, we're not sure what she is or who she is. There's bigger trouble out there, according to her. Do you guys have anything else that you took out of this episode before we discuss what we're hoping to see coming up? Go ahead, Chris.
I got one.
Go ahead.
This scene where they're in Sokovia, right? So they're walking into the apartment, and Zemo says, "My neighbors next door, what they had done to Sokovia." Okay, now this is total fanboy. All right. Next door to Sokovia is Latvia, right? Who comes from there? Dr. Doom.
Oh.
If Doom was able to get any of the, I don't know. Is it possible that that's a tie-in for Dr. Doom to come over into the MCU this way? Not Doom through the show so much, but just a line that opens the door for later.
It does open
Dr. Doom was X-Men, correct?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So it opens the door. Absolutely, it does. The neighbor nation and stuff is I butcher words and stuff when it comes to those kind of but is their next door neighbor. In fact, we can believe that they kind of took over that. Once after the crisis happened and stuff, what was left but the neighbor to kind of pick up the pieces and kind of take over. So I kind of think, maybe, Baron is not really royalty anymore, since, it's Dr. Doom's hometown, that is the actual now province of what's left of Sokovia and stuff. So, but yeah, it absolutely is a big tie-in and stuff. That is a huge Easter egg for Dr. Doom. So on Doom.
Gotcha.
There you
go. I want to say, so you asked before, what else did we, I think, the Flag Smashers got some goodwill as far as understanding about what they're doing, because we actually got to see the results, like when and I can't remember the lady's name, but they talked about her several times and stuff. So, and I want to believe that she has a more pivotal role in the one that died of tuberculosis and stuff. They showed her pennant has the hand with the world in it and the flower and everything else, and how that morphed into what the Flag Smashers are. But it showed, these people were being left in the wind. You have all these rich nations, they have this global council, and there's people who are still suffering and dying and stuff, and so this is why they were fighting. And when she died, whoever this lady was, that triggered something in Carly. Thank you, Carly. So that was the moment that she started taking blood. That was a point, because they don't care. They don't care. They would do the same to us. They are doing the same thing to us. They're letting us die. So why should I care? Which went against their code. So
yeah. So the woman that died, her name was Danya Madoni.
Thank you.
But that's exactly what Carly says when he's like, "You're not taking your car," and she said no, and he's like, "But there were people in there," and she says, "This is all that these people understand is death and destruction."
Yeah. I saw a breakdown of I watched a couple of breakdowns to try to be on the same level as you guys, and someone said that he thinks by the end of this that the Flag Smashers is going to be kind of almost like kind of like heroes, like you're going to like them and you're going to want to be kind of rooting for them. I don't know if that's true. What do you get? My dogs, dang it.
I think with the murder of that they had the goodwill build up, and then I think with the murder they kind of erased that goodwill.
Yeah, exactly. Because I did. I mean, like you could sympathize with them.
Yeah.
Until they started killing people.
But at least there, it's really only one person, right? She is the one that did that. So perhaps there'll be justice down the way in throwing her out or something along those lines that could
be a redemption arc for the group.
It's so crazy. I want more of her story because she's so young. It doesn't perfectly line up with what the comics have said about Carl Morgenthau, but like so young, and all of these people are listening to her, and it's like she looks like she's like 16. She's out there playing soccer with the kids. I want more of Carly's backstory.
Well, we have 3 episodes left. Maybe we get some of it. Hopefully, I mean.
Oh, I'm certain we will. Yeah.
Which kind of leads us to wrap it up here. Bill, what are you wanting to get out of the last 3 episodes? What would you like to see?
I want to see who the power broker is. We haven't really talked about that too much tonight. But do
you have a thought who it is?
I have a couple of thoughts about who it could be. The one that I'm leaning most towards is Zola, who also showed up a bit in The Winter Soldier in computer form.
Yep.
And in the comics, he is a full-blown
walking robot.
With that kind of computer face. So, and that, to me, that seems the most realistic because that would be the easiest one to film and not get any sort of leaks or anything along those lines, because he could do that in a studio with very little staff and that kind of thing. Could it be and I'm drawing a blank on his name, but Jeff Goldblum,
the Grandmaster
Ivan?
I don't necessarily think that's the case, but I think that would be kind of a cool one. And I hear he is coming back to the MCU in some fashion at some point. So
love it. That's
awesome.
That would be cool. If they're trying to build up the fake Avengers, the bad Avengers. What's the name I'm thinking? Chris, help me.
Thunderbolt?
Yeah, well, the Thunder. Yeah. It could be Thunderbolt Ross and starting his group. I don't know how he would be able to do that, and then also have a job in the government. So he can't live in there and in America at the same time. So probably not him.
Maybe that's what Sharon Carter's doing for him.
Yeah. But I think the difference between this and all of the speculation that we had going about Mephisto and all of that is the power broker is real. The power broker is being talked about.
Yep.
There has to be some sort of payoff, even if it's in like the last 5 seconds or the second end credit at the end of the last episode, who we learn who it is. I don't think that we're going to leave this series without finding out who the power broker is. So that is what I really kind of want to see. A side note, did anyone else get like a John Wick kind of vibe? And I looked into that because I got a real John Wick kind of vibe, and it was actually written by the guy who created John Wick, which I didn't realize until after the fact. But it was like, oh yeah, that kind of makes sense. But I thought that was kind of a cool.
Oh yeah, the fight scenes were amazing. I was like, there's a familiarity, and yeah, the guy who created John Wick was the writer for this episode and stuff.
Oh, cool. Right on. Chris, what do you think? What do you want to see from here on out? And something else you want to touch on tonight?
No, just I really hope somehow we get to see Isaiah again. I really think, even if it's just a sit down conversation with him, a flashback from when he was, even if it's a different person playing him, but a little bit more. I think that scene was so powerful, and now with Nagel being tied into it in this episode, I want to continue to see that character. So
okay, David, how about you, bud?
So I'm really interested right now on two things. I want to see more of Isaiah's story be put out on the screen, and I absolutely desperately want to see who is the power broker. I have some theories, kind of right along the lines of Bill. Zola is one of my theories, because he kind of disappeared into the internet there and stuff, and so and we all know, we all know, comic book readers know that he is kind of, for those who, okay, so tell me if you got this vibe. You remember the brain or whatever his name is from Ninja Turtles and stuff? Like, he's inside of this robot and he's inside the stuff. That's Zola. That's how his character is and stuff. So I think I'm strongly leaning in that direction and stuff. It could be Ross. I didn't think about how there's some allegiance pieces and stuff, but for the fact that he's been operating in secret for so long and having his hands on the serum, he can finally reveal himself and have his own unit and not be under anyone's rule. He got to watch how the Avengers got to just, do whatever in his mind, whatever they wanted and whatever but the only reason why they got that grace is because they had superpowers and they're heroes. So with that power in his hands and with his own group of heroes and stuff, he doesn't have to address, so he can come out fighting. He doesn't have to address the kowtow to the government or anything. So that's why I think it could be Thunderbolt Ross.
My last question: would the blip have affected Zola? No, because he's a machine, right?
Yeah,
his conscience is. Yeah, he
would have been. Yeah.
I don't think so. No.
No. I mean, no.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think it would have affected him and stuff. I mean,
so he could be making things happen during that 5-year period as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And then my third, this one is out of the left field. I like to throw left fields, things out of left field. I think I was right on one in WandaVision, but anyway, I'm gonna go with I'm gonna say the fictional supervillain, just because we have a movie coming out soon, not soon, but this year, Shang-Chi. I'm gonna say the Mandarin. I'm gonna go with the Mandarin is the power broker, and there's gonna be a nice little tie-in. We're not gonna get a full, but there's gonna be a tie-in and stuff with that.
Wait, you mean the Mandarin from like the Iron Man movies? The same one?
That's not the real. That wasn't the real.
No.
Man.
Okay, gotcha.
But like, with Shang-Chi, like, those are the people that took Tony.
Huh.
He wields power, and it's been a while since we had his group wield their ugly heads and stuff, and so, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I can definitely see, like, the Mandarin behind the Global Reparation Council as well, yeah.
That was very Hunger Games vibe. That's totally what I was thinking.
Oh, the Global Repatriation Council. Yeah,
that's what I meant. That's what
I thought that was great. Sam, it is late, so we will hurry up here, Bill. Sam, what do you want to see coming up? And since they're all giving their thoughts, who do you think the power broker is as well?
I'm going to go a little bit different than you guys.
Namor?
No. I want more. What I want is more X-Men, like, innuendos tossed in, more X-Men, maybe more Logan, Wolverine Easter eggs. I would love to see a scene in Wakanda.
I think we will.
And my thoughts as to who the power broker are. I'm going to say it's Sharon.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Sharon. I do think we may get some Thunderbolt Ross, but either she's working with Thunderbolt Ross or he's working with her. I do think that Sharon holds a bigger role than we've given her credit for.
Oh yeah, I think without a doubt she's big. I'm not sure she would have been able to get that big in that small a period of time.
Yeah.
But but yes, I definitely think
money
she's
talks.
important.
And right now she's got the money.
Without a doubt,
absolutely.
There's much more to her.
It's just the way she's able to move so freely through high and low, and like nobody really questions what she's doing, and like she gets her connections like that. Mm-hmm. Something about it is just very. She's the boss right now.
Oh yeah.
And to add to your point, Sam, she also, I mean, she's seen helping Sam and Bucky, and to think the fact that they have targets and they have to get out of the Manuport, but she doesn't, it shows she has some authority in that town. So,
what about you, Shawn?
Well, I don't know enough about this to know who the power broker is, but I do want to say this, that I think when we're done with this show, I want to do a whole episode on the Thunderbolts. Like I said, I've watched so much things and learn who all these people are. I have so many plans when we're not talking about a show about questions. It's just me asking you all questions every week. So I just want to learn so much. But I'm loving this. I don't know what I want to see. I'm enjoying it. I don't know what to expect because I don't really understand it. But it's cool to see cool stories, I think, being brought together by these people, and the you can see. Are Bucky and Sam friends? Yes, they are, obviously, but they kind of aren't, which I think is the greatest thing. It's like the Blues Brothers to me, kind of thing. You know
exactly.
what I mean?
They're like siblings.
Yeah, they just fight all the time, and I absolutely love it. And if I had siblings, I think that's how I get along with them. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's just, but yeah,
moving the seat up just killed me. I love
it.
They are big babies.
They
go from that comedy to that serious part when he says, "I should have thrown." I should have destroyed the shield on the plane. And that's deep.
Okay, so let's talk about the shield real quick. Didn't Thanos basically destroy the shield during that battle in Endgame? It was like in half.
And so if you notice, I'll point this out. Some people miss this, but so the shield that you saw Thanos destroyed, it was Captain America's shield. And the shield that Cap brought back and gave to Falcon, totally different designs.
Oh, he brought one back. That's right.
Within the same movie, it was a different design. The one we see today is absolutely the one that he brought back. But it didn't have what that little circle with the little, looked like a secret compartment and the little.
It looked like it was notches in it.
Yeah, it didn't have that. That was not the original shield that we saw throughout all of Cap's reign. So this was a different. I mean, it was Cap's shield, but it's a different shield. So
he just grabbed it somewhere on his trip. He just grabbed that shield.
Well, it's like, Spider-Man has a closet full of different outfits, and Iron Man has a bunch of different suits, and Cap has like 5 or 6 shields.
You have a few pairs of underwear.
Yes, I do. Thank you for that. That's true.
I don't. No, I'm kidding. When does Sam get the shield back? Because we've seen the previews, right?
Mm-hmm. He has it a lot in the previews.
He was throwing it around, hitting all the trees and everything else. So we know Sam is getting the shield back.
Yeah.
Or is it going to be a flashback?
I don't know. Nobody at Marvel's contacted me asking me if I will wield the shield yet.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, wrong Sam. Sorry.
Give it time.
So if we're gonna do episode calling, I'm gonna say it's gonna be the final episode. Is when
I think the beginning of the final episode. I think he gets at the end of episode 5, and I think episode 6 is going to start off with him training because there's going to be some kind of battle. Obviously, at the end, there's always a battle in a Marvel movie, so I think that's where it's going to end with. He's going to be Captain America at the end. So that's my call. When we'll see.
I have two yes or no questions that we can answer for future, just so our audience can know where we kind of sit and think about the future episodes. So the first question is, next episode 4, do you think the power broker will be revealed to us? Yes, no?
Yeah, I say yes.
No.
I say yes, like Shawn. I'm gonna go with yes.
All
so Second question: do you think Falcon, Mr. Sam Wilson, will take the super soldier serum?
Let me ask you this before I answer my question. Does he in the comic books?
I'm not answering that. You don't get that answer.
Can someone wink at me if it was a yes? I can see all of you. Somebody wink. Sam, look up. Sam won't look up.
Don't look up.
No one's doing anything. Screw you all.
Yes,
I have no
yes.
idea. Yes, I think he's going to do it. Damn it. That's
all right. So we got a yes from Shawn.
Chris?
Not in the show.
Okay.
Damn, that means he never took it. Shit.
Bill?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Damn it.
Damn.
Come on, Sam. Podcast princess. God dang it. All of you. David, bring me home, brother.
No.
That's a bunch of crap. You all knew that, and you all knew that I was going to answer wrong, and you're laughing at me. He's over
Here's the thing.
Crossing his damn Wakanda arms.
The Marvel
Wakanda, you bastard.
Here's the thing: the Marvel Cinematic Universe do not answer to the comics on their story arcs.
Right.
So, we see Wanda before the
You
end
know
of
what
this.
I think we will see at the end of this?
Wanda?
We will see Bucky say, Wakanda forever. It'll be Bucky though.
And what I keep having to remind myself is that I get wrapped up in the show and they're never going to give a huge arc in a Disney Plus show instead of a movie.
That's why I feel like I'm playing it safe with Sharon Carter. They don't have to introduce a whole nother backstory to us. They don't have to give us a whole nother story arc. They already gave us a character that we know.
Yep.
Just like we were searching for a Mephisto, but it was Agatha all along.
Yeah.
I've got a question.
Maybe it's Sharon
for you.
all along.
Okay.
Since we're going with the yes and no questions.
Yes.
Does John Walker make it out of episode 6 alive?
No. Oh, me. I'm sorry. I'll let you guys answer.
Yeah.
You already answered, David.
He does not, and that's how he gets the shield. That's how.
I'm gonna take my note back until after you guys answer.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna go against the grain and say yes, because isn't he part of the Thunderbolts, the anti-Avengers group with other people? He's like the leader.
I am gonna say.
Someone agree with me.
I am going to say we're going to see him die, but he's not really dead.
Oh, all right.
So do you think?
Same thing with Killmonger.
Do you think he'll end up as like a U.S.
I think he will
agent?
be a U.S. agent. Yep.
Yeah. I don't know. I keep going back and forth on it. That's why I was asking, because like part of me says yeah, definitely, but then part of me says no. So I'll go with what you said, Sam, in that he's dead, but as we see a lot of times in the comics, when someone dies, they don't necessarily stay dead.
Nobody's ever really dead in the MCU except for now Tony Stark. He's
David's got to elaborate on his quick answer.
Yeah, you were very quick about that.
It was exactly what Sam said and stuff. That's why I said no. It's he may meet his demise, hot or not. He'll meet his demise, but it is not the end. So they're very good about bringing. But
that's fair.
John Walker will be gone.
Oh, okay. I see what you did
but
there.
It may be U.S.
Long live U.S. agent.
Okay,
enough.
last yes or no. And
okay.
Does Bucky become Captain America?
No.
Hell no.
No.
No. Everyone else said no. I'm gonna say no.
Wait, I've got a question now. Wait,
No,
Chris, do you want to elaborate why you want to ask?
Chris said that was the last one, though. Sorry, Sam.
Fine,
Just because I wanted to see Bucky with the shield. That was the whole arc, right? When he held that shield in episode 2, I guess, 1, when he had to hand it back to him, you could tell there was something. And there is a comic book arc where Bucky.
Maybe you see Bucky take it and hand it back to Sam and say, "Don't lose it this time, you idiot."
But look at. So yes, in the comic books, Bucky does hold the shield. He does become the man for a minute. But look at the direction.
That's my answer. Yes.
Look at the direction that Marvel Cinematic Universe went. They really highlighted Steve Rogers' character as to why he was deserving. It wasn't the best soldier. It was what was inside here is what made him deserving of that. He gave that same speech to Sam, not Bucky, because Bucky and Steve both knew that Bucky was not right to hold that shield, and it wasn't like a diss or anything. It's just that Sam, his motives for doing what he does and helping, it was in alignment with the same reasons why why Steve became Captain America. That's why I say no, he won't. He won't. Bucky Barnes will not hold the shield.
No.
Sam,
my question.
Go ahead.
Does Torres take up the Falcon mantle?
Yes.
Okay. Good. Glad we're all in agreement there.
Shawn, you agree, right?
I do. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Great. Just wanted to make sure.
Yep. Look at this guy. Boom.
That's the Falcon.
Very, very final.
It's a late Falcon.
Very final question. Was Zemo's dance moves really that hot or not?
I mean, I'm gonna go with hot. I would have danced with him. Okay, how about to take it out? We all do our best Baron Zemo impersonation dance move.
Okay, is this not an audio?
No one can
this is audio. This isn't.
Yeah. Unless we do a Patreon and put this on there someday.
That was I want to see how many times they made him hot.
Yeah,
because
it was funny.
It is. It's hot because I want to see the outtakes of how many times they made him do that different styles of dances.
Right.
They made him do the washing machine at one point, the Macarena.
Right.
He was,
I want to know if
the sprinkler. He was shopping for groceries. He was doing it all.
I make fun, but I think it's incredibly brave that he did that. So I'm going with hot.
It's hot. Okay. On that note, we will end this week's episode of the Marvel Tribe. Mr. Chris, where can we find you on the internet?
Well, I'm honored to now be an official part of the tribe. Thanks to David giving my initiation. It just cost a flight to Oregon, buy out a movie theater. No, I'm joking.
All right, all that's on the table. I will buy.
Dude, it's there. Anyone who wants to come can come. Unless you're in Oregon already, then that's not really fair. So,
so Marvel Tribe. I am the food correspondent for the Airbnb Disney podcast.
Yes.
And on Wednesdays and sometimes Sundays, an episode for Disney Done Differently, where we just I make some food and have fun with it. Thank you for having me and getting to see it.
Absolutely. The French
and
toast
Chris
looks
is
amazing,
not
by the
one.
way.
Yeah, Chris is not one to hype himself up, but he has a group for Disney Done Differently as well. So go join them.
Awesome.
David, find him on Clubhouse.
He is killing it in Clubhouse.
Chris is doing great on Clubhouse. I'm going to ask you different, Kristen, Bill. David, where can we not find you on the internet? Because you are everywhere. You are on Snapchat. You are on TikTok. You are on Clubhouse. I just answered the question.
I got an invitation to be on Airbnb, and invitation to go to the White House Correspondents' Dinner. I'm turning that down. I'm busy that day. God, there's so many. Black Panther 2. I have to call my man Ryan Coogler back and stuff and decline. But I'm all over. You can find me on the internet. Blurred Hulk. Just look up Blurred Hulk.
All right.
Trademark.
OnlyFans?
Tinder. Oh my God, no. I am not. No.
He is not on the market. I'm pretty sure his wife is Emilio.
I am off the market. I am happily celebrating my anniversary today.
Absolutely. A happy anniversary to you, Brenda.
You will not. Yeah, you will not find me on there. Absolutely. Thank you.
And like he did say, you guys who listen to this, you know that we're a great community here, and David will be a guest on Airbnb podcast this Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern time, 5 p.m. Pacific time. I'm so excited for that because I've known David longer than anyone here, and he's a true friend of mine. And I'm so happy that you're branching out and doing other things, brother. And I'm so happy for you. So, Bill, where can we find you actually?
OnlyFans.
That Big Billy G or
the goat?
Oh
The goat.
It's
Billy the goat.
Billy the goat.
Billy.
Oh, wait. Yes. Please do not. Do not. He knows how I feel about the Cubs, so he needs to stop right there.
Billy the Goats. It's Billy the Goats Billy Club. It's the whole thing.
The Billy Club.
Yeah. Yikes. Anyway, every Thursday we do a live stream of the Ear B&B Disney podcast. As you have mentioned, the Blurred Hulk himself will be our guest on Thursday. Really looking forward to that. You can always catch it after the fact on any of the places where podcasts can be found. We've got a big interview coming up in a couple weeks. That's all I'm going to say about it right now. But that will be released on the Ear B&B story. So
nice.
Keep your ears peeled for that one.
Cool. Sam, how about you?
Disology podcast. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Samantha Muldecky, Extra Magic Hour, Marvel Tribe, Walt's Apartment. I'm all over the place. Not OnlyFans.
Busy.
Not OnlyFans, no.
Yet.
Okay. Perfect.
I am looking for new friends because there's a couple here I need to ditch. So if anybody wants to be my friend, find me on social media.
You're not talking about me, right?
No. I'm talking about Big Billy G with the Billy Club over here.
With that being said, that's the end of our show this week, and thank you for listening this week of the Marvel Tribe.
Shawn, where do we find you, though, buddy?
Yeah, Shawn.
You really can't find me anywhere except just right here on Wednesday nights. Actually, waltapt.com. I do have an Instagram. I have like 30 followers, so that I don't really go on there. It's Big Papa Disney. Yes.
Plug the group.
Oh yeah, Walt's Apartment Behind the Lamp. Please check out our group there. Great, fun stuff. Everyone on here that is on this show is an admin on that, and posts great stuff and great content. And it's a nice place to get to know people. And I will talk about an interview we're going to do that I'm excited about. We're actually, if you listen to Walt's Apartment, if you watch the Walt's Apartment live stream on Wednesday nights this week, we are going to have former Disney show writer, Imagineer Brian Collins, right?
Mm-hmm.
Brian Collins is joining us in Walt's Apartment. And then in 2 weeks, Sam and I will be interviewing. Her name is Gina Rock, and she was the flying Tinkerbell at Disneyland from 1983 to the year 2005. She'd be the one flying over the castle during the fireworks, and I saw her on Facebook and reached out to her agent, and I was like, holy crap, they responded back within like an hour, and I'm so excited because I can't wait. I'm so looking forward to that. She's gonna tell us about the basketball court inside the Matterhorn, and I can't wait to hear about it, but that's it. Check us all out on waltapt.com. Check out all of my friends on all the different shows here. And from all of us at the Marvel Tribe, we hope you have a great week, and we'll see you next week. Good night.
Good night.